Hello, everyone. Scott Hache here with the Network Marketing Mentors Show. And today we have a very special guest with us today. We have Jessica Higdon on the show, and she is here to show us some great stuff. She is a seven-figure earner in the industry. She is a coach, a mentor, and a trainer to thousands of people. She has her own system called the 10K Social Media Formula, and she's here today to share with us exactly how that all works and how you can utilize different pieces of technology, including social media, to better suit your business. Welcome to the call here today.
Oh, thank you so much, Scott. I appreciate it.
You know what? We're very excited to have you on the call. There's so much great information that I know that you've been able to share with many other people, and we just want to get a little bit of an idea. Who is Jessica Higdon? So, what is your story?
Yeah, just real briefly, I got, again, thank you so much for having me on here. I'm absolutely honored. I started in the network marketing industry when I was 21 years old. So I was going to school full-time, trying to get a full-time marketing degree. I was working at the makeup counter full-time, selling makeup to women that would come into the department store. And I was trying to start my own makeup wedding business. So to say that my time was spread thin was a total understatement. I mean, I didn't have time to do anything. But at that same time, I realized that if I didn't have time to do anything, why am I so broke financially? So I was time broke and broke at the same time, which I thought, okay, there's no way that I'm doing things right. This is what's going on. So long story short, network marketing fell into my lap, but I was so not confident in what I was doing. I had no business experience, no warm market whatsoever. The few people that I did know had already been approached with a million different companies and were jaded, no confidence. And, really what it came down to was I was young and had a serious lack of personal development. I'm sure a lot of us can relate to that. So, I didn't give up, but I wasn't all in when I first started. And I think a lot of that had to do with my belief in the industry was lacking. And that's, if your belief in the industry is lacking, then how in the world can you make this business work? And I finally, I got online and I started seeing people having massive success that had similar stories to me, no warm market, just total bums and created this huge empire that was residual. And so it built my belief up in the industry, and I just made a decision. So after 5 months of doing nothing, I finally got my first person on board. And that was oh my gosh, it was a huge confidence boost. But I still didn't have that huge circle of people, right? So I had to find a way to create that. So I went back to the same leaders and mentors that I had looked at, and a lot of them had done it through social media. And so I thought, well, if they can do it, why can't I? But what they were teaching, some of it didn't really resonate with me, but it gave me the belief and possibility that I could do it. So I turned to social media, knowing that online you can be whoever you want to be. You can portray that confidence. I mean, people didn't know that I was a scared little girl from, Southwest Florida. And so I went online, started doing a simple Facebook routine based on some things they had taught me, and just tweaked it a little bit myself, and created a $10,000 per month income from social media. And that was within 18 months of being in that business. And then from there, my husband and I are blessed to be deemed $1 million earner couple within the industry. And now we just are able to train people all over the world on how we did it. And it's just, it's surreal to me that we speak on stages everywhere. And it's incredible. If you had said, Scott is going to be asking you for a Skype interview, 6 years ago, I would have said, you are absolutely insane. There's no way somebody's going to want to interview me, right? But it's just surreal what's happened, and I feel so blessed that, we get to talk to amazing people like you and share this story.
Awesome. Well, you know what? You mentioned that you made a lot of your approaches and a lot of your income from approaching people on social media, like Facebook, for example. Now, how would one go about just starting to approach people on Facebook? It seems like a pretty scary place there. How do you just jump in there and start approaching random people on a social network?
Yeah, and it's so funny you ask that because so many people, like you say, okay, you have to go out and talk to your warm market, right? So many companies and leaders say that, and there's nothing wrong with that. I fully agree with that. But people get so uncomfortable and resistant to that. And what do most people say? They say, oh, well, you know what? If I only had people to talk to, if I only had a huge list of people to talk to, then I would be, a 6 and 7 figure. I'd be making a ton of money. But at the end of the day, when you have billions of people on social media, which is a lot of people to talk to, all of a sudden people kind of get a little nervous still and don't want to take the action still, even when they do have the people to talk to. And social media, I always say this, it's the comfortable way to build your business because how hard is it to go find somebody that you have something in common with, whether through a Facebook page or a Facebook group, and just reach out to them and make a friend. Your goal when you first approach someone is not to sign them up. And I think that's where people kind of they lack and they miss the boat because they're trying to sign everybody up fast. And when you try and do that, that's actually the slow way because you're going to turn a lot more people off than you do turn them on and turn them onto your business. If you take the time initially to get to know the person, find out if they even have a need for your business, and take it from there and approach it in the right way, then you will accelerate your business 10 times faster and you'll find leaders that actually want to grow it versus were pressured into it or scammed into it or whatever by what you're saying. So just be honest, approach people with the pure intention of becoming a friend, and you'll be amazed at what happens. And if you grow, let's say you grow one person a day into your network, well, that's 365 people a year. Do you think that with what you're posting and the different things you're sharing, that at least some of those people are going to want to know a little bit more about what you do? And the answer is absolutely. So I obviously teach to reach out to more than that per day, but if you just did one a day, you would have more of a business than you do now, no matter where you're at. So
Great. Well, I guess one question that I do have is when I'm
yeah.
going to go approaching somebody on Facebook, what would I be saying to this person? Like, I know I just how do I say it properly to so that I don't scare them away?
Great question. So when you are approaching someone, the main key points, and in the 10K social media formula, I actually give you some scripts, but just so you guys can go take action today, the main key points that you want to know are number one, why is this person messaging me, right? So think about when you get a message from someone. What goes through your head? And that's what you should be writing to that person. Kind of get into your prospect's mind. So the first question is, okay, why is this person messaging me? So that should be one of the first things you say, as in, hey, I noticed that I saw your status come up in my news feed, or I noticed that you have a Maltese. I also have a Maltese. The second part that I teach is having something in common with that person. You need to make it extremely personal. You need to put their name in the beginning of the message, their first name. You never skip that because remember, what people see is only the first little bit of your message, right? They're not going to see the full thing. And that first little bit is going to make or break whether they read it and respond to you. So you need to put their first name. You need to tell them why you're messaging them. I love this comment you put on this post, whatever that may be. And then throw something that you have in common with them, and then always end with some type of question so you can keep the conversation going. Usually that's what you do. It could be something else, but I like what you do unless it's blatantly obvious on their profile page, because then they're going to know that you were just messaging random people. Like, I love it when people they ask what do you do, and they see that this person has real estate listings all over their profile, and it's in their banner and it says realtor of Southwest Florida. It's like, okay, clearly this isn't a personal message, so just be cognizant of that, and just be a human being. How would you approach someone at a party kind of thing?
Absolutely, you kind of want to, in a sense, make a friend before you start pitching ideas, because then
Absolutely.
you're just a salesperson, and nobody wants to talk to a salesperson, right? So if you could make that initial relationship with that person, they're going to be more open to what you have to say, right? It's just
Exactly.
it is common sense in a lot of areas, and just like you said, I love how you put that. How would you approach somebody at a party? The first thing you wouldn't walk into a party and walk up to somebody and say, "Hey, I have a business for you," because they'll probably
Right.
look at you and walk the
So,
other direction, right? It's true. So you obviously want to approach people on Facebook because it is a social site, right? Like it makes complete sense. I love that analogy about the party because it is true. You know, you have to make sure that when you are working with people over a social media site, that obviously that you want to build that friendship relationship with them before you even mention any kind of thing about the business, right?
exactly. Exactly.
Now, there's obviously a lot of ways you can actually mess up an approach on Facebook as well. Can you give some examples of what not to do when approaching people as well? Like, I know you mentioned a few things, but I want to dive you a little bit deeper into exactly what do you want to avoid when approaching somebody over Facebook.
What a great question. Well, I would say the first step is looking at your actual profile or fan page, because when you message someone and they're thinking about responding back to you, the first thing, and you know that you do this too, right? The first thing that they're going to do, usually, not always, but usually, is go look and see, okay, who is this person? So it really starts with that. So the biggest mistakes that I see people make are they're either too pitchy, or they have their company blasted everywhere in the banner and all of everything that they do. And that really turns people off. You want to think about, okay, who am I trying to attract into my business? What personality type are they? How old are they? Are they male or female? What profession are they? Those types of things. And then think about, okay, what questions do they have about business, or what can I share on my page that would be beneficial to them that they may want to look at? Is that inspirational quotes? Are there fun images you can post? Different things like that, to really make you look a lot more professional. So the first
Hmm.
step is really with your profile. As crazy as that sounds, that is the first thing that people are going to look at. And then the second step really comes into, the message, obviously. You do not, my rule of thumb is, and I say this in all of my trainings, the rule of thumb is, if you can copy and paste a message to more than one person, it is not nearly personal enough. So if you can take the message that you're sending, think about this before you send it, and you can copy it and paste it to a bunch of different people, don't even send it, because it's not nearly personal enough. And that's really where I see people fail is, again, they even hear my training, but they want to do it super fast, and that's actually the really slow way. So just take the time, get to know the person a little bit, and you'll be surprised how many people want to join your business.
Excellent point. That makes a lot of sense to me because you want to be a real person, right? Like the world of making friends and meeting new people is not about copy and paste. Facebook is not a
Exactly.
machine to build a whole bunch of new friends for you. You actually have to be a real person. It's the same way. Like what's going back to that analogy about the party, right? You definitely want to be a very approachable person. And I love the advice that you give about the front of the front of your Facebook page. It's exactly what you're representing. You're representing to the world who
Sure.
you are and what you're all about. And if you and if you're doing whole bunch of crazy things on the Facebook page, like I seen somebody that had a whole bunch of party pictures on there, and doing all sorts of crazy things and making a whole bunch of comments
The
that
red solo cups, right?
yeah, exactly. Well, you know what? Sometimes could be a really good thing depending on who you're approaching,
Sure.
right? Exactly. If that's what you're all about, you want to represent who you are. But at the same token, like to obviously stick away from some controversial topics, that kind of thing. That because
Exactly.
people are going to look at you, and that is your representation on the internet. That makes complete sense to me here. Now, I have a question here for you. A lot of people would like to hear the answer to this. What would be the single best piece of advice that you could give our viewers here today to help build their business? Because you seem to have a good art for creating a really big business here.
Well, I appreciate that. It would actually be two things. I'm asked this quite a bit, and I have boiled it down to two major things. And maybe the answer you're looking for, if you're watching this, maybe not. But it really is this simple. Number one, make a decision. Until you make a decision and you do not give yourself a way out, you will not be as successful as you want to be in this industry. Now, I've seen people make a couple $100, maybe even a couple $1,000 a month, that haven't really gone all in and made a decision. But the people that make the big money, they are all in, they are 100%. If you have even a shred of doubt, it can really, really ruin the rapport that you have with your prospects and your business as a whole. So, number one, make a decision and do not give yourself a way out. It's either going to work or you're going to quit, but you better not quit. Number two, I would say, is enjoy the process. You're going to have ups, you're going to have downs. I've certainly had them, but our biggest breakthroughs come after our biggest breakdowns. And so, as soon as you feel like you just can't talk to another person and you just can't do another meeting and you just can't do it anymore, that's when your biggest leader is about to come on board. So just stick with it, enjoy the process, and make that big decision that's going to take you to, that next level in your business. So that would be my two major tips.
Awesome. Thank you so much. This has been excellent advice. And you know what? I can't wait to take a look and dive deeper into the 10K social media formula that you have. And of course, in our show notes at www.networkmarketingmentors.com/episode 8, we're going to have a link so that all the people that are viewing this the show today can actually click on it and take a look and get some of your free tips that you have there. And of course, take a look at what some of the course offerings are there, because you know what? It's great advice. And of course, it's a great way to use social media to approach new people. There's a ton of people in the world. And you know what? Facebook offers that method of being able to get out there and be able to grab those people and get a hold of them. It's just all about doing it right. So definitely recommend taking a look at in the show notes at www.networkmarketingmentors.com/episode number 8. And definitely thank you so much for joining us here on the call today, and hope to talk to you again sometime soon.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Scott. Honored to be on here, and thanks so much, everybody, for listening. Appreciate you.